Okay, good. Tell me when.
All right, we're live.
And hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault. It's the Tom Chenault Show. I hope you're all having a great day. And this show will be worth the wait. I've got 3 great guests, normally only 2, but we've got a couple on the back end of the show. And Adrian will be here during the breaks. So whatever you do, stick around for the whole show. We've got John Haremza first. I love this guy. He is adorable. He's just a teddy bear. And every time I see him, he walks across, he's gigantic and he scares the crud out of me. And he opens his mouth for 1 second and you fall in love. This guy has made it in network marketing and he did it against all odds. He's written books. He's written these little tiny books that are unbelievable. I hope he talks about them, but we are off to the races right now. It's worth the wait. You're going to get a full show no matter what, so don't get stressed out about that. Grab yourself some gluten-free, soy-free, keto-free, all the free sugar-free, all that crud you're eating these days because you're very healthy network marketers, and stick around because it's going to be fun. John Haremza, how are you, buddy?
I am fantastic.
We are happy to have you aboard, my friend. Tell us, first of all, out of the gate, you've been in network marketing for over 30 years. It's given you your life. You're the happiest guy in the world. Your daughter is watching this show. This is a family business. Before we go all the way back, talk about how doggone great it is to even have your daughter watching this show.
Well, it's fantastic. Actually, my oldest daughter is downstairs organizing my office and putting samples together and things like that. So truly is a family business. And, it's amazing, just them growing up in this environment, from the, because we're a victim of our environment, right? And for them, hearing me on the phone, traveling with, as a family to all these conferences and different things, I don't think they know what a normal life is or what a normal, life of an everyday person is. I mean, they know what a normal life of a network marketer is, right? And they love that. But yeah, my youngest daughter, listening in right now, she's 25, just became a double diamond in the company. I mean, it's a fun business.
Yeah, and what's cool is over and above the double diamond and all that jazz, what those kids saw you do every day of their life was take your kids to work day. They learned about business through you. They saw your highs, they saw your lows, they saw your in-betweens. In my case, my little girl looked up one day and said, "Daddy, where's the car going?" And I looked out the window. I go, "I have no idea." I looked out and it was being towed away by the repo man. And I had to confess to a 4-year-old that the car had been repossessed. And she didn't understand that. But the 8-year-old, Adrian, he really did. And all he had said was, "My dad is a loser." And it was horrible. So yeah, you're 100% right. The struggle is real, but they learned to appreciate hard work and the value of a dollar, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly do. I mean, I think they both got great work ethic just from watching but they, I think they think differently than your everyday person, growing up like we did, right? I mean, parents have a 9 to 5 and, they go to work and, this is such of an interesting, unique, type business. A kind of a funny story. I remember, with text message and stuff, my daughter one time texted me and asked me, "Dad, can you bring me up a snack?" And she texted me that, and I'm like, hey, I'm in Arkansas. Didn't realize I wasn't home. But anyway.
That's pretty cool, though. Yeah. So, but that's the way this goes, you guys. And I'm telling you, all you mothers, all you dads, all you moms and dads that are together, which is awesome. But so many times in network marketing, it isn't that way. This is your chance to grow up with your kids. And I made a deal when I quit drinking 30 years ago. I was a high-powered stockbroker, and after I got sober, I swore I was never going to leave those kids again for a job, and I was able to keep my word through network marketing, just like you're doing here. I am extremely proud of you. Talk about how you got there from here. You're a success today, but you sure as heck weren't day one. Talk about how that all started, will you please?
Well, and I think, Tom, that's a great point, because I never actually believed or imagined the level of success I now experience and have had in this industry. I came to this industry, I was a blue collar worker, high school education, grew up in a small town, have dyslexia. And so I really struggle with reading and spelling, still struggle with it today. But, back in high school, school, it really affected my self-esteem and self-confidence. I mean, literally was so shy and introverted, I wouldn't even say hi to somebody, unless they said hi to me first. And then it was kind of like mumbling it under my breath. And so I wasn't on the top of someone's prospect list. And I think that's the first, maybe note or point to come out here is, don't prejudge people. You don't know if given a chance, if somebody, gives somebody a chance, what can happen, with ambition and with some focus and consistency. I was just, I just came in, was a complete sponge to personal development in the industry. And I started out just thinking, part-time. I did a part-time for 6 months. I'm working a full-time job on call 24/7. I lived in a small town. I'm driving once a week, 3 hours one way to go to a business opportunity meeting to witness and drag people to it, to see what I'm a part of here. And then I transitioned into full-time, and now here it is, 30 years full-time in the industry. And it's been amazing. I started out when I really began to believe, thinking, man, if I could, do this full time, if I could make $3,000 a month, I'd be excited. And then 3 turns into 5, and 5 turns into 10, and it just kind of takes a course and a path of its own. It's crazy, but it's the learning too. It's the people. It's the lifestyle. I mean, you become successful in networking, you become unemployable. I can't imagine, having to go to an office or having to be tied to a schedule.
So let me ask you this, and this is something I haven't done on this show before, but I know it's happened to you. You've had to switch companies over your career.
Yeah.
And companies have gone out of business, and change happens. And everybody goes, well, what happens if your company goes out of business? What happens this? What happens that? Actually, Tony and Sarah, same boat. Here's the deal. If you are the leader that you train yourself to be, you can take over a country. And it doesn't matter if your company, heaven forbid, goes out of business or you have to make a change, because if you learn these skills and you learn leadership, your team's going to follow you anywhere. Is that correct or incorrect?
Yeah, you know what? As long as you handle yourself right and you don't burn bridges and you don't, treat people poorly, or, all those little things, those character issues, I think have an awful lot to do with what type of a following you build. But, I am, yes, I've had a few experiences in the industry, have been disappointed, but believe at my core in the concept of network marketing. And yes, things happen, not just to network marketing companies, but things happen to every business out there. It doesn't matter what the industry is or, what method of distribution. But once you learn the skills, the big mistake, I think, in that same sense is people, give up too quickly. They give up too quickly on a company. I mean, unless the wheels are completely falling off, there's always hope. I mean, and every company is going to go through its challenges, going to go through its challenging times, and that's not the time to abandon. That's the time to be strong. And now, yeah, there's always a time, when you may have to make that decision if something is really not getting better or getting fixed, but you have to give a company time to work through problems, because they all have them.
And that's the same thing that happened to me, for sure. And one thing I'm sure of, over and above all that, is if you carried yourself to be the leader you state yourself to be, people are going to at least give you the benefit of the doubt. And what I saw John do was shift a couple of years ago. And I just knew that he was going to be a success just like that, because of the people that follow him. Do you remember Bob Beitcher?
I do, yeah.
The pharmacist. I am sitting in his house one time, and I'm recruiting him. And he looked up and he goes, Tom, He said, I hate to break it to you, but I'm never, ever, ever going to join anybody else but this guy. And I'm out of network marketing right now. But this guy was so rock solid that if I ever go back into the profession, it's going to be with this John Haremza. So that had me hating you for years. That's the kind of influence you had, man. That's strong.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear.
True story. So that's what people say about you behind your back. What do you think about the profession right now? Do you think it's still at a point where it's just absolutely got nothing but a big future in front of it? Is it the rear view mirror because of the FTC or because of the internet? Or do you think that, what do you think about the state of affairs right this minute, having really relaunched yourself within the last 3-4 years?
I believe stronger in this industry today than I ever have. I mean, I think there's a bigger need for what we do than there's ever been. I mean, with technology and the way jobs are changing, being eliminated. I mean, people, I've got actually, I hope she's not listening. I got a sister-in-law who, is always, talking about, how it's never going to work or never going to last. Meanwhile, changing jobs constantly. Right. And the thing about it is this industry, I think, this can be here forever. It will be here forever. Sure, there'll be adjustments and changes, but the concept of direct sales, network marketing, multi-level, home-based business, whatever you want to call it, I believe everybody, if they really understood the opportunities that we offer in this industry, people, I mean, I talk about it all the time. I mean, I literally will do a presentation and think to myself, I don't understand why people are not standing in line to do what we do, because it's that powerful. In not just in the products, in the opportunity and how we change people's lives, how we give people hope, how we give people, an opportunity to learn as they earn. Everybody should be doing this. And I think the industry is alive and well, strong, striving, and is going to continue to grow.
All right. We are going to take a little break. What website do you want people to go to find you?
If they go to, Right or Almost Right, Right or Almost Right, same title as in my book, Right or Almost Right, they can get a free copy of my old edition, or they can get a copy of my newest edition, and also my little booklets, booklets that you had mentioned,
awesome.
Which I'd love to talk more about.
Right after this, stick around. This is the Tom Chenault Show on the Genesis Communication Network. And we are back. And this is Adrian, my little boy. And
hi, Adrian.
Sponsor of the show. And did we find the keys? This is crazy. So a guy comes to visit me. I love the guy with all my heart. He's probably my spiritual mentor in my life. He comes down just to say hi, puts his keys on the desk, and they have disappeared. And it's making him crazy. And it's making me crazy that it's making him crazy.
You just so badly don't want him to believe that you subconsciously stole his keys.
I must have.
Yeah, have you checked his pockets?
All right, so talk about, what are you doing?
Yeah, so Contact Mapping is the sponsor of the Tom Chenault Show, and we love getting to connect with the great guests on the show and to talk about what we're trying to do, which is to really help people to make better connections, to make more meaningful connections as they're building their business, and to get out of some of the traps that I think people fall into of coming across in a wooden, scripted way that people just see right through instantly, and that they are repelled from, and instead getting you into a place where you are connecting from the heart and you're able to be your authentic self, and more importantly, you're able to get to who that person's authentic self is, and you figure out how you serve them, and you figure out how you can connect.
So that in a nutshell means it gives you a chance to be a better human being instead of puking on people. And that's what I'm trying to keep you from doing as network marketers. And if you talk to everybody that's made it, what they don't do is lead with their product, lead with their opportunity, lead with their pay plan. They look a human being in the eye across the table, and the professionals drop them where they want to be instead of foisting upon them this or that. And interviewing John during the break, or during the show actually, was really, he said something profound. He said, I wasn't your best prospect. But you know what? We all interview people with our eyes. We see these people come along, they're wearing overalls, or we know their job is not as highly touted as your job or their education, and we immediately look past them or look through them instead of get to know the person underneath and see the John Haremza underneath it all, the eye of that tiger that was able to actually do what he did. And what he's done to be successful is he goes out and gives people that benefit of the doubt, and he doesn't even realize it, but the guy's a contact mapper, a badass contact mapper, a bad to the bone contact mapper. That's what you are. You don't even know it. And I said before the show started, I said, if I was as good looking as John Haremza, I would be so rich, because I am telling you, no wonder his daughter loves him so much. He's just a movie star.
Pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
So we're doing a webinar on Thursday that I think you guys would enjoy, and I want you to check it out. It's free. So if you go to contactmapping.com/webinar, you can register for it for free. But what we're talking about is this idea of how do you get network marketers to not come across so much like network marketers and come across more like human beings?
Professional network marketers.
And professional network marketers, exactly. And to do that in an easy way that's fun, that's who you are, that is not rocket science, and it really just involves breaking out of fear. So contactmapping.com/webinar. You can register for free. It's this Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time.
All right, we're back. And we are back. It's Tom Chenault. This is the Tom Chenault Show on the Genesis Communication Network. Our guest today, John Haremza, unbelievable guy, wrote that book called Right or Almost Right. You want to get that book. If you didn't get it during the break, you're out of your mind. Go get it. He's also got these little books that I want to talk about because he sent me a batch of them in the mail. And so I started reading those, and they are profound, brilliant, and short. And my attention span is built for that at age 68, but you want to do that. This guy is the real deal. He's somebody that can take you to the next level in network marketing. Go to his website and hit the contact page. I mean, this is a good man. My pharmacist, Bob Beitcher, wasn't kidding. This guy has done it. He will go deep with you, and he will help you out. So why'd you write the books? What was that all about?
Well, and if you don't mind, Tom, if I could back up for a moment as I'm listening to your commercial, on the Contact Manager, because my daughter asks me all the time, if I had to do one thing, what would I have done different? And there is no question, it was if I could have kept better contact with the people that I have met, all these people over the years, if there was a way that I could have been able to build that list, right? Build that contact and manage that list. I was introduced to this Contact Manager at the AMAP. I got a membership. It is a brilliantly put together app. And so thank you for that and congratulations.
So all of you listening, that's called contactmapping.com. And all it replaces is all the yellow stickies, all the Excel spreadsheet, all the business cards that you have in your desk who you don't have any idea who those people are anymore. And you've got 500 cards laying around. But what John was talking about, and I don't want to make this an infomercial for contact mapping, John was talking about our great skill set is our ability to relate to people. And before we're all trying to hold that in our head or someplace else, and having it in a central spot, and I don't care where you put it, but you want to be able to treat human beings like the great human beings they are. And that's what you do well, John. That's what served you. So take that a little farther, because your daughters are right. We all need to treat people better. And what people want to do most of anything else is be remembered. And if you get good at that, you get good at this game, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I actually talk about that even in my book, that, it's all about how you make people feel. It's how you treat them. I mean, they want to be heard and appreciated and understood. And I mean, it's a huge, we are in a people business. It's a relationship business. And I know it's a cliche, quote, but they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so it has to be real, though. It has to be sincere.
Yeah. And if it's phony, and that's another reason you want to know about people, because when you look at somebody and you ask them about their dog Muffy, that works out great if the dog's name is Muffy. but the dog's name is Sparky, and you were just playing some soundbite dumb game on him or guessing, that all of a sudden it's all invalidated. So the person with the most data wins. And all you want to do is just remember it. I don't care how you do it again, and you get to be John. How much time? I mean, you said your daughter is working with you full time now. You've been full time in this business for how long, John?
30 years full time.
That is absolutely. We're going to have to give you that award, that long time achiever award at the ANMP next year. That's really a cool deal. What advice do you have for the person that is getting started in network marketing today, other than read, write, or almost write, and get the brochure books? What else? What other advice would you give them?
Well, I mean, I think, the big thing is you have to have a long-term mentality. I mean, too many people enter into a business like this, and because of the stories they hear, they think it's going to happen for them overnight. And it really happens for very few people overnight. Okay. I mean, it is a business of staying focused and staying consistent, right? Yeah. It's not a business of trying to figure out, the next hot company or the next, great tool or the next, I mean, the basics, the fundamentals of this business, I don't think have ever changed and will never change. There may be some techniques that may enter in using, social media and different things, but the people business is what it is. It's, it's building those relationships. It's being true to those people, being true to your word when you say something, even if you regret it. That you make a commitment to somebody, even if you regret saying it, follow through with it and stay focused, and consistent. And I really believe, and that's why I did these booklets. My book has everything in it, right? Everything. And if you read it, it's like sitting down talking to me. I mean, it's not a ghost written book. It is a book that is truly me, right? It is me, what I do on a daily basis, not what I once did, but what I actually do. But these little booklets are, almost like chapters out of the book, right? And when I put them together, they're 4 things that I think are crucial. I think one of the most important things for success in network marketing is belief, right? You have to have belief in your company. You have to have belief in the products. But you know what? You have to have belief in network marketing, right? And this is if you don't really believe in network marketing and the life-changing power of what we have in this industry, it's going to hold you back. It's going to hold you back if you don't believe to your inner being that we have a better way, right? And this little booklet, not just for yourself to gain that belief, but to use it as a prospect tool, 100% generic, all these are. I think it's a great belief building tool to build that belief you need, in network marketing.
John, we can't thank you enough for coming on the show. You are an absolute joy to be around. Every time I see you, it makes me smile and laugh. I love you. We can't wait to have you back on, and you have yourself an unbelievable day. Thanks, man.
You bet. Thank you. Great to be here.
Girls, too. All right, we'll be back right after this with Tony and Sarah Zolecki. And we're back. Give me John. Give me the whole gang. I want to see, if you can, Marianne, put Tony and Sarah on here too with Adrian and I. Because did you hear?
I was here.
John,
the whole time. That was
thank you so much for saying so many nice things about contact mapping. That was unbelievable.
You're welcome.
Hello, Tony and Sarah. How are you?
Hi.
Okay, we're in the commercial now, so you guys don't have to worry. You don't have to be polite, Tony. I mean,
where are the keys, Tom? Where are the keys?
Tony told me.
The keys are gone. The poor guy's keys are gone. It is so bad. More stuff has gone wrong today. You cannot believe it. The computer monitor, I know you guys saw me dancing around. How good was that? It just died.
That's
so the monitor for me to watch all you guys, we have it plugged in, but for some reason it's pulling more power. So it was imminently going on the blink during the middle of the show. I noticed it and put another monitor up, but I couldn't get the volume down. So I'm looking for the keys, trying to get this secondary volume out of here and still have a radio show, and looked like I was paying attention to John, which I was, but man, I'm telling you what, we had some moving parts, but we're back in business right now with Tony. John, I mean, Tony and Sarah, what do you think about John Haremza? I mean, he's like
Killed it.
We love him. You know, it's really interesting that we're on the show with him today because I have to tell you, you know, our youngest is 4, right? John, I don't know if you know that we have a little girl, it's 4. And it was so funny the other day, she was carrying around her little baby and she had this little book and she was reading this book, which was your book. Obviously she can't read, but she's reading it. And I was like, I have to take a picture of this and post this on John's wall on Facebook because it was so cool. And I didn't do it because it was so sweet, but isn't that so cool? I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome.
Well, I'll tell you one thing right now, having you guys all on the same show is awesome for us. It totally proves up what we try to do, which is relationships, and everybody at the top levels. These are like this is the stratosphere of network marketer earners, and they're just great human beings working together to make the world a better place. Would you agree?
100%. And it's so, you know, it's fun thinking about John, you know, 30 years full time, having raised his family. Sarah and Tony, you guys, you know, earlier in that spectrum with your young kids doing life at home. You know, I was chatting with them the other day, and the kids are running around and doing, you know, it's just how cool is that to get to raise your kids and do your business together and figure out how to make it all work, but do it together.
Once I had Adrian, I took him to an AA meeting and it was all smoky. So I said, you kids go down and fish in that creek for crawdads. He was 8 and his sister was 4 and they're down on the beach. And the next thing I know, I'm looking out the window and Mr. Babysitter here, she just fell in the brink and was going down the river. I flew out, jumped in the water, had to save her life. He just sat there watching.
Wow.
I might have made most of that story up, but it was kind of true. So,
Please don't ever do that, Tony.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But John, thanks a million for coming on. We'll catch you next time. We're going to talk here in a second to Tony and Sarah. You got about 30 seconds to talk about contact mapping, so you might as well talk fast.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys.
John.
Knock it out of the park, guys.
All right.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
Yep. Bye now.
Now you have 20 seconds.
All right, perfect. This show is brought to you by contactmapping.com. Check us out at contactmapping.com.
Okay, so you have 7 seconds left. And we've had a blast with it.
We've had a blast.
You are
Unbelievable.
truly my favorite sponsor.
Thank you so much.
All right. I feel like I've known you all my life. I'll see you later. All right. And we're back. It's Tom Chenault. It's the Tom Chenault Show. We are having a blast today. We've got the fabulous Tony and Sarah Zolecki, or actually Sarah and Tony Zolecki on the show today. These kids are absolute total rock stars. I'll tell you, it's very sad in your life when your son walks up to you who's got this contact mapping business going on, and he comes upstairs and says, Dad, do you have a number for Tony and Sarah? And I go, why is that? He goes, because they're so good at this business and so good at training and so good at Facebook Lives. I think I need some mentoring. So I swear that happened. So I punched him in the face and gave him your number. But at the end of the day, it happens to be a true story. You two are unbelievable. I love the way you are. You were born into the business. You've been doing it for a very, very long time. Tell us what life is like at the top of the mountain for a couple as young as you, just doing it right in network marketing. What's life look like for you two?
Gosh, a lot of gratitude. You know, I think that, I mean, as you say that, I don't look at myself and Tony like at the top of the mountain. I think for us, we're, you know, just 2 kids that are still just striving every day. I mean, our team, Tom, I mean, they inspire us to push more, you know what I mean, on ourselves to get better and keep growing, because we know ultimately we need to lead by example every day, because we can tell those guys what to do, but we can also just do it, right? And that's what inspires them to keep going. And the stories that we're creating is what inspires them of what's possible, right, in this profession. So I think we have a lot of gratitude. I think, you know, I think for us, I mean, you know, like John had spoke about, I mean, we weren't early success stories. So I think, you know, where we are, we have so much gratitude because we know the work that it took to get here, and And here, like we haven't arrived. We're like not even close. I mean, we still have, thousands and thousands of lives to impact and change. And, our kids being one of them.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that's a big, big thing for us right now. So, a lot of gratitude for sure.
But look at the messaging that you're sending your kids when they see you grind it out every day, believe in the profession every day. Just like John, you guys had to reinvent yourself and start over in the middle of the stream because your company ended up doing some goofy stuff and you guys had to do it again.
Yeah.
But you know what? You had the skills, you had each other, you had your belief in the profession, and you knew you could do it, and nothing stopped you. And here, in a short amount of time, you're back on top again, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're having fun. I think, Tom, one thing is that we love doing life on our terms and blessing people and giving people the gift that we got every single day. Like, network marketing has never been better than it is today. And people can get started. They can follow a simple system. They can work with amazing people. They can plant their flag and they can go create whatever they want to go create. And I think that's great because, when I started in this profession, I was working on a taco truck, Tom. Me and my mom were running around Milwaukee, Wisconsin selling tacos. And, I got a little taste of capitalism, back then. And I said, Mom, this is awesome, but this sure takes a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of energy. And I see the money you're spending to put this whole thing together. And then, we found network marketing together and we were just like, man, this is the best because we can literally start, for next to nothing and just have really unlimited income potential and just go out and, do whatever we want to do as far as, check-wise, growth-wise, impact-wise. And I just think the profession has never been better, Tom. And there's more people coming and looking at our profession today than any time in history because people want solutions. And this is the best way to go, in my opinion.
It is the purest form of entrepreneurialism and capitalism on the planet. And people don't get it. There is literally no startup cost, less than $1,000. And you have got your destiny in your own hands. And the people that run away from this are running away from it out of fear because they can't be running away from it out of logic because there is no better chance than anything else, whether it's a franchise or a small business, and it's made for some people. I will promise you, everybody can't do it, but I just wish they all could because I see people out there suffering in jobs. I see them suffering in small business. I see them suffering in bad marriages, and I see them suffering in old age. And I know that this is a massive solution for them. And it's up to kids like you to get that point across. Because, let's face it, they don't want to listen to somebody like me because they go, look at that guy. I'd be successful too if I'd been doing it for 100 years. But the fact is, you are a fresh-faced couple that can get across to people where we can't. So you got to drive this message home at a level you never thought possible. And that's what I love what you're doing. And I can't wait. I heard a rumor about Sarah writing a book, and she doesn't even know I know that. But is that in the works, Sarah? Is that coming along, or are you just kicking it out? I know somebody is talking, and it ain't you.
I've been asked, but I've been hesitant. I think a lot of times in this business, I think that a lot of us, we don't have the fear of failure, but we have the fear of success, meaning I don't know if I can own up to being that leader that everybody thinks that I should be. And I struggled for a long time in this business because of it. And I think that is a little piece of why we haven't written yet, because we have had quite a few people ask us, when are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? And I'm like, oh, I don't really know. And I think that is a little piece of that of, oh my gosh, what if I do write something that, isn't something that, I don't know, maybe is what I feel is worthy of reading. I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope that you don't mind just being very truthful about that. I mean, that's just, kind of where we are right now, but maybe soon,
we're close.
We're close, but, we're busy in our business too. My kids keep me busy. That's for sure.
This is the most, I've been doing radio for 100 years. I have never heard anything so preposterous in my life. Listen to me real carefully. You got into this business at a young age. Both of you bootstrapped it up. You got married, you built the business. Your husband turned into a raving lunatic. You held the family together. You kept it going. You kept it going. You fought through it. You fought through your business. You fought through your marriage. You fought through him doing what he was doing. You fought through you doing what you had to do. You ended up on top. Your marriage has never been closer. You look happier than clams, and you don't think anybody's going to want to read that book.
I don't know.
Well said, Tom.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
I'd buy it, and everybody would. And my greatest fear, this contact mapping thing in my life story is a story for the ages. I mean, I can tell you about my mom cooking my dog. I can tell you about almost landing an airplane because I was drunk in a Kmart parking lot. All those things. And I sit down to write a book, and I get about 3/4 of the way through it, and I go, my story's so boring, nobody's going to read this. I'm stopping. So don't think I don't understand that. And I'm giving you the advice that I'm giving me, and that's kick that baby out, because the world needs to hear it. All these success stories about everybody being wonderful is a bunch of hocus pocus. What does it take you to make $1 million a year? Randy Gage hit the nail on the head when he said, all you got. And that's what you kids have given it. That's what people need to hear. They don't need to hear that it was all easy, because it ain't easy.
Right, correct.
Possessed. It's marriage, it's crashing, it's fighting everything back, believing in each other, believing in the profession, and you two have that. You need to shine light on that story, because that's what's going to bring the masses to this profession.
All right, I hear you. I'm listening.
That was a lecture from
that was from Tom, Dad Tom.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So now that you're doing it, I mean, you guys are good at it all. I mean, I've seen you down at Ray Higdon's great Rank Makers events, and that's an experience unto itself. Eric Worre, his events, you guys are primary on that stuff. I mean, you are on the stages of the world. You follow the same people and work with the same people I do. Though everybody should be participating and just realizing that they are Tony and Sarah Zolecki if they'll just get in the game, play the game, reach up instead of down, and things are going to work out, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that. I think a lot of people don't realize, like, there's a lot of Tony and Sarah's on their list. It's just a matter of, are you going to connect with them or not? And I think for us, I mean, like you said, I mean, we've given it everything we've got. And I think a lot of people, they're afraid to do that. And, I think for us, we were like, what do we got to lose? What if this thing actually was everything that they said that it could possibly be? And we weren't afraid to roll up our sleeves and get dirty and go to work and get in the trenches. And, I think persist until, Tom, right? I think I love this profession. I do feel there's a lot of people, though, that do get involved that maybe jump from a company to company because, maybe something didn't work out perfectly, where the reality was they needed to look in the mirror and they needed to take responsibility, and they needed to say, well, actually, I suck at inviting, or I don't do a good job with follow-up, or I need to work on these areas. And instead they, would blame company owners or company or field leadership, versus a lot of people don't realize, like, this is our business, right? This is your very own business. Yes, you've got the guidance of, of great people and great leaders in your company and systems and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, it's on you. And we realized that early on, and we were like, man, we got to get better every day. And we got to, like, when it sucks, instead of blaming, we got to say, well, all right, so this kind of stinks right now. Like, how are we going to move through it? And I just think that if people were more solution oriented in our business and really said, hey, listen, I'm going to, when I enroll people, I tell them, I'm like, listen, you got to give me 5 years. Like, come hell or high water, like, we got to work this out for 5 years, where it might be a little shaky. You're going to try to be getting your legs, but I mean, you've got to be willing to put your dues in and your time to reap the amazing rewards that are available to you. And I just think too many people don't do that anymore. And I wish they would.
Hang on a second. We got to take a little break before I get fired. So we're going to come back right after this on the Genesis Communication Network. And we're back. Say hi to Adrian.
Hi, bud.
www.contactmapping.com/webinar.
There we go. Thank you. I'm glad I got in before the last 10 seconds of the break. That was very nice.
Don't you love these two?
They're just unbelievable. And the relationship that you two have, the way that you watch people when I'm a newcomer to network marketing as I've gotten started on this contact mapping journey and gotten plugged into the profession. And you watch people on the stage, but I pay a lot more attention to the way people are when they're not on the stage, and the way that you guys carry yourselves, the way that you have treated me, but the way that I watch you treat everybody around you, and just who you guys are and how you show up is something that I really admire and that I want to embody myself. And so that's a big part of why I'm such a big fan of yours.
Oh, Adrian, that's so group hug.
Virtual hug.
Contact mapping. What do you guys think about it?
I love it. I mean, I think I like it because it's a lot of how a woman already thinks. We're already mentally taking notes a lot of time. We're very aware of the people that we do come in contact. Like, right? I don't know. I guess maybe I might be stereotyping. We take a little bit more time with asking questions, getting to know people, kids, all that type of thing. But, I think we all fool ourselves that, hey, we're going to remember all that stuff. We don't. And so I love being able to use this app because I can track everything and can help me stay organized as a mom, right? With a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. I mean, it's close to impossible. And so I love that I can have it right on hand with me wherever I go. And it's just a great way to stay connected with people. I love it. I think it's been a big challenge in our profession for a long time. People are always asking, hey, what tool are you using? Or what can I use for follow-up? Or what are you using to stay connected with people? And there just really hasn't been a good one out there that people have been able to use. And I think too, not just use, but be compliant with, right? Meaning they'll actually be consistent with using that tool. They're not going to be hot and cold with something, which is where I typically fell into.
Where would you guys be right now if you had all your contacts in your Agile app?
Oh gosh.
People are probably like, what are you even talking about?
Our check would be double.
The reason I say that, and that's the company they were in before you guys. But the fact is we think all our stuff is in our company app, or it's in Salesforce.com, or even Facebook, or what if all your data, all your friends were in your MySpace app right now? You would be so hosed. And so what you want to do is keep all your apps where you own them. And Adrian's partners got a PhD from MIT. So he's smarter than me. I went to high school with him. But at the end of the day, my fallback, by the way, is not going to be a teacher at MIT. My fallback, I'll be probably working back with you on the taco truck. So
he makes some mean tacos, let me tell you.
Yeah, but he can make a heck of a taco. But the point I make is, where's your data? Where's all your connections? Because as long as you're alive, your biggest asset's going to be your Rolodex.
Yes, always.
And everybody just treats it like garbage. And I am telling you, we're committed to you not doing that. And that's the difference, right?
Yeah, and it's not even, you treat it like garbage, not because you actually treat it like garbage per se, but because you assume it's going to be there. You take it for granted. It might not. You're seeing more examples of Facebook, for no apparent reason, shutting people down. And, you think about so many network marketers that all of their conversations and all their history of their conversations live in Messenger, and that's it. Like, if you got shut down even for a week, like, there would be a lot of people that would be truly in panic, dead in the water. And you can't treat your most valuable asset like it's always going to be there and that it's always going to work, both from a data perspective, from a relationship perspective. These things, if we don't take care of them, they're not going to take care of us. But if we put forth that little bit of effort, and if we have that consistency like Sarah was talking about, things shift massively. And that's what we've tried to do. And what I think we've done successfully is made it easy enough that you can stay with it, that you can use this every day, that you can make it part of your daily rhythm, and that it serves you in creating that positive habit that is going to help you grow your business and I think have you have more rich relationships in every way.
Agreed.
Oh,
Okay, we are back on the Tom Chenault Show. It is Tom Chenault. It is Tony Zolecki. It is Sarah Zolecki. And these are the cutest kids on the planet. And I love them to death because they're professional network marketers, but they are great human beings. They're great, a great couple. They are great parents. They are what I want to be when I grow up. And I just want you to look at how happy they are. And I want you to think about that being your life, where you get to travel the world, you get to raise your children, you get to see them grow up right in front of you. That's who these two kids are. That's why I love them so much. Tell us, I mean, how does somebody get a hold of you? Maybe that's the big question I want to know right now.
Well, obviously social media for sure, right? Facebook, etc. We also have a website. Our website's just sarahandtony.com, really simple. It would have been Tony and Sarah, but someone had that domain. So I asked, is it okay if it's Sarah and Tony? Because I honor my husband so much. I'm like, I would have liked to have been.
Sarah's with an H.
Yeah. So Sarah with an H, right? So sarahandtony.com is where we can get connected, and on Instagram as well, all that good stuff. But we're just grateful for you, Tom, too. I know that this show spotlights other networkers, but I don't know if people spotlight enough about you, though. And, if it wasn't for you, I don't know if Tony and I would be having these smiling faces right now. And that's, that just says so much about who you are and who you embody and who you work so hard to be every day to everyone that you meet, whether it's a stranger or someone that you personally know. And so we're grateful for you.
Yeah. And the thing is, Tom, I mean, you helped me get sober over 9 years ago. And I remember when I met you the first time, it wasn't about all the money you're making and all the business you had. It was about just me and making sure I was okay and making sure I got my act together, and then, put me on a path to do that. So I love you, man. I mean, our whole life has changed, and a lot of that is because of you. So thank you.
Wiping you up off the floor that night was great, but here's the deal. You guys, and John Haremza talked about it, and these guys are talking about it. You got to find the human being inside of every human being. Yeah. If you do that, you win. And that's what Tony and Sarah have been great at. You meet them, you love them, because you instantly know they care about you. They care about your success. And the fact of the matter of network marketing is that's what this is all about, is nobody's successful without you being successful. But these guys exemplify that. And yeah, I caught you at a perfect point in your life. Yep. When you needed a hand up, not a hand out. And talking network marketing wasn't what we talked about. We talked about something much bigger.
Yep.
Let me tell you guys, all you people watching, that's what this business is exactly that. You've got to stop interviewing with the eyes, get to know people, love them at where they are right now, because that's where God's got them right now. And maybe they're going to be ready for you one day, or maybe not. What these two kids have become are great friends of mine. It would be a Christmas miracle if we ever worked together. I'm like at the end of my career here, and these kids are at the top of theirs in another company. We're going to be friends for life. There's no agenda other than being great friends. And I love it like that. Don't you?
Me too. Yeah, I think it's so important to have collaboration inside of, just people being involved in other companies, versus, hey, I need to, try to recruit this person. And I think that's really important too. I think it's a really good tip for people that are building a business is just, really going out there and building those friendships. I always tell people, I'm like, you're going to be hard pressed to find someone that can out-friend me, because that's what I do, Tom. I go out there and I build the friendship, and I know that one way or another, that person's either going to enrich my life, or I'm going to enrich theirs. And either way, it's a win. And so just really being focused on, cultivating and building those relationships. And I tell people, you will be pleasantly surprised on the people that fall into your lap, that join your business because you're just out there just doing you without an agenda, without a motive, with having the right motive in your heart, right? As you lead and as you just live your life every day. And, I think that's something that's important, where I think so many people are not present with their life because of all these things that are happening, right? Just a lot of distractions, what have you, where if you focused on being present in your life and were really there with people when you did have those conversations, man, a lot of you, like, your business would never be the same if you just focused on being more present just as you live your life every day.
No doubt about it. And I think about Longmont here where I live, and there are so many different network marketers, and there's a couple in this town that are in your business, and there's one in Lisa Cito's business, and there's one in Jesse Lee Ward's business, and there's one in Amber Voigt's business. And so all these and Dana McGrady, and all these hot shots come to town all the time, and they come through town, and their people are here. I would no more try to bring those people into my company than the man in the moon.
Yep.
Because they know where I am.
Yep.
And they know how much they love you. And they are so happy being partnered with you, whether it's Michelle Barnes or anybody else. And why, with all these unbelievable people on the planet, do we have to go try to bury somebody else to bring in a prospect when you just got human beings everywhere that you can touch and love? And that's what you guys have been good at. And that's what I love about you. So I want to thank you for coming on the show. I think you guys are the future of the business, the future of the profession, and I am honored to know both of you. And thanks a lot. Next week, we've got Dr. James Rouse, who's unbelievably famous, and network marketing legend Chris Ebersberg. The following week, we've got Larry and Taylor Thompson. So we got a great show for you then too. So thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next week. See you later. And we're back. Don't leave. You guys aren't going anywhere. Here we are. That was cute. You guys are as cute as a button. Get in here, Adrian. So if anybody has any questions for him that you want to ask off camera that they can answer for you. One thing about contact mapping, there's a woman on here named Pamela, and her iPhone completely went south and ruined all of her contacts. And guess where she got them all back from? contactmapping.com, which is a Christmas miracle, by the way. We about fainted when we were able to save her, and we were so sure it was our fault that iPhone did that we we're like freaking out because we got Rick and Adrian. Adrian's smarter than Rick, but we just give Rick all the credit. But here's the deal: we were so freaked out about that because we thought, holy mackerel, what's going on with the contact mapping corrupt all her stuff, and it wasn't. It was exactly the opposite. She was jacked, but we were able to retrieve everything. And thank God. But thank God for Pamela. Thank God for contact mapping. But you guys, get your contacts someplace. I don't care. You know that actually, I believe all your contacts in the drawer on those business cards are safer than anywhere else out there on all these other places, because at least there's some permanence to the cards in your desk. And until you get to a place like contact mapping, I want you, and that's that simple, right or wrong. No, and you're proving up to today. These guys have these horrible meetings where I have to go twice a week, and this is so funny. So they make me sit in this meeting, and everything's on Slack. It's on Trello. Now they got something called Jigster or some damn thing, some other program for me to get confused by. And so I have to sit there and listen to these things called OKRs. What's an OKR?
Objective and key result.
Objective and key result. So I'm sitting here and they're talking like Chinese to me for an hour every week, just basically proving that I don't do anything all week long. But at the end of the day, what has come to me more than anything else is my belief of the track these guys are on. I believe they are going to save your relationships. I think they are going to be able to clarify and preserve your relationships. And I know for a fact that they are doing something that's changing the world. And I believe it more every week when I go to those meetings that I don't want to go to. So thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys do not want to go to their management meetings. It's like, you hear about like people with real jobs. I have a real job twice for 2 hours per week.
Yeah.
And it's horrible.
Which keeps him very focused on his network marketing business. So it's
oh
good for
my
everybody.
gosh. You guys, it's unbelievable because such accountability that these guys live with that I have want no part of. But it just only reminds me how much I love what we do.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So let me see if anybody's got any questions for you. why is Tony so ugly and she's so beautiful? I know. I don't understand it either.
I don't know.
Is Tony in a teeth brightening MLM? No, he's not. So let's see what else I've got here. I'm just reading the comments on the side here.
You want to know? You want to know what's funny though? Actually, when we were in our prior company, we had a team that was in Europe, and they were like, when they saw him for the first time, they said, "Tony, we have to tell you, we don't call you Tony, we call you the Colgate Man." That's what they call
You
him.
look like the Colgate Man.
It was so funny.
So when I was drinking, I got in a fist fight, and I forgot to put my hands up. So I lost all 4 of these teeth to one fell punch. My previous wife picked me up off the porch 30 years ago. I was unconscious. The doctor wouldn't even work on me because I was so liquored up. It was a horrible, horrible day of my life. And I just told Adrian, I just got done with the dentist, and I'm finally getting 4 new porcelain teeth.
Wow.
And 4 new crowns. So these 4 teeth are going to be beautiful. But what I said to the doctor, because of Tony Zolecki, I said, can you whiten all the other ones? Because I swear to God, all I want to do is look like you. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
love it.
I'm going to have to work on my face, but I might actually have that smile. How's that grab you?
That's great. That's
I know
great.
it. I'm very proud of myself. All teeth. So yeah, you guys, you did it. I mean, thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for who you are for the profession. Thank you for everything. And how about Eric Worre's house?
Yeah, beautiful.
Is that the greatest place ever?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Pretty awesome.
You need
Yeah.
to build one. And you're in Minnesota now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not you got out of Wisconsin with the tacos, and now you live in Minnesota.
We're in Minneapolis. Yep. We came to Minneapolis, and Eric went to Vegas.
And you have to build Chris Hickson.
Oh, I know.
Forgot about him. If you guys ever hear that name, have him call me. If you hear the name Chris Hickson, call me. So that's so funny. That's where he lived. That's too funny. Let's see what else I want to talk about. That's it. Angela Brooks said you guys are awesome. She's right. You are.
Oh, Angela, I love you.
She's a machine. She came
She's
out of
awesome.
nowhere, didn't she?
Yeah, she's awesome.
Is she
Incredible.
in your business?
No,
She is a machine.
just
I'm
a great girl that I just admire, you know?
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, you guys, we'll catch you next week. Make sure you watch next week. And then Larry and Taylor, we love you. We love everything about you. We'll talk to you later.
All
See
right.
you guys.
Love you guys. Bye.
Thanks, Sarah and Tony.
That was awesome.
Bye. We'll see you later.
How do I?